Welcome back from the break. If you are just joining us, this is Man Talk here on KTN Life and Style, and I am your host, Susan Joroge. Now, I have been joined by these three awesome gentlemen. During the break, wamepumua kidogo, I hope, because things were hot fire earlier on. So I'm seated with Tony, George, and Ditos, and we are discussing marriage, and we're looking at whether men are marriage-minded, whether men are focusing towards marriage anymore. Is it different for different generations? But we had reached a very serious debate before the break. It was George against all, I think.
No, George, you see what's happening? George is reading a different script.
George.
So George is of the mindset that marriage is still real and there's still good marriages. And
Yes.
young men should still believe in good marriages.
Yes.
But Tony and Ditos are saying, hey, hizi good marriages tuonyeshe ziko wapi?
Hatuzioni. Yes, let me also just say this.
Kuna manyumba tu za marriage.
Listen, Tony. These people who are telling us marriage does not work. Or let me put it this way. If your marriage is not working, it's you and your spouse not working. And we're not coming to marry your spouse. Tony.
Kuna mwingine?
Yes, if marriage does not work with your spouse, why are you telling us it does not work?
But
It is you and your spouse.
It is
And
true.
so
it's an individual. It's
Yes.
two people agree.
So
Maybe that's
nobody's
what we're
coming
going
to marry your
wrong.
spouse to see whether it's going to work or not.
Okay,
But
maybe-
Akiacho, we are the ones to marry her.
No.
No, so that's
okay, let me ask.
Yes.
Is it because these days, okay, because none of us here is married. You came very close. Uliguza.
Can you apologize? I'm with
Ati Guza, that's bro. That's a
No,
diss.
nataka-
Hajafikiria hiyo leo. Hajafikiria hiyo leo. No.
Utafanya Joyce animalize.
You know why
My
I'm
marriage-
saying
Yes,
this?
yes,
I'm actually saying this for clarification purposes. Yes? People are saying uliguza, but now you have confirmed you guys are together and you're happy and you're working on it. And I'm very happy about that.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thank you.
So that's another thing that you missed earlier on in the show. We got an exclusive from Tony. So when we are talking about marriages and the reason that they're not working, is it because these days there's more than two people in a marriage? In a marriage, there's social media, there's family, there's money pressure. It's not about two people having a union and working in this life together. Is that the challenge, or is there another reason that you believe marriages are not working?
There are so many people. I mean, at home, my father expects me to get married. Now you have that. You have a lot of things, as you've mentioned, social
Right.
media, everything. So you're not getting just married because you two are agreeing. Joyce has parents who also expect her, whatever.
That's
So it's
true.
happening,
There's
yeah?
pressure from her
From
side,
her side, yeah.
also.
Now her parents also have uncles, aunties, and an entire community from where they come from. I also have the same. Now Tony Kwalanda also is not from an island.
Yes.
Tony has come from relationships. Tony amecheza kaa yeye mpaka penye amefika sasa.
Ehe.
So these people you are leaving behind unaachia kina nani, and you
Okay.
didn't give an official declaration
Notice.
or nation state of nation address to your
Yes.
other people, you know.
Right.
So there's a lot of facets, there's a lot of dynamics that you're working with. So ni kunoma hii marriage, but we have mimi na Ditos we are going crossroads, but mimi nasimama na George, marriage will work.
Okay.
It has to work. It's
Yes.
only between the two people we agree with.
But you see
So we
that-
have to be a facet.
But yeah.
Kuna hiyo shida, yes.
You know how I was told when I was young, I was told that now my parents, for example, my grandparents, they started together, they bought a seat together, they went from a seat to a bed to
a home now
to a home,
eventually.
to children. But that thing doesn't happen nowadays. It's a mama coming and telling you, I'm a CEO at a company, you know, let's get an insurance. You know, like we are rushing these things so fast. And that's why these things are not making sense to anyone. Because
Okay.
you see, in the Bible, if I quote it well, it says that a woman should submit to a man, right? But that thing is not happening nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like you're two men in the house now, there's a boss and another boss.
And
You know.
the bosses are not seeing each
They're
other.
not
Kila
seeing
mtu ako
each
na
other.
kampuni yake.
You know, so I feel that's the only reason why these relationships are not working. Then people have prioritized financial freedom so much to a point where now, if you don't have money, you can't even say hi to a lady. If you don't have money, you can't even start a conversation and say, hi, what's up? I'm a hustler.
There's so much pressure on younger men. Because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, there's money moods. Everyone when you're broke, haukwangi umefurahi. That's either for men or for women.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're stressed, money's on your mind because you need money to do everything, right? In this world that we live in today. But for men, even that thing you're saying, yani, you wouldn't say hi to somebody. Like, you could see a woman you're very attracted to. You could see a woman, maybe you even had a good conversation with one time. You've been wanting to meet her again. But because you're broke at that time, you've cheza chini.
But women also
You'll make
block
sure
you.
to not be seen. But
They also, you guys also block us. Because you see, by the time you're saying hi to a woman, then the next thing she's telling you, you know, maybe we can have a drink somewhere. Then she tells you a high-end place. And you're just thinking, is this worth it? Should I go just spend 5K or 10K?
when that's not my plan.
That's not my plan, you know?
From what he's just saying,
I want a mama
and
will
I'm just,
take to a
I'm
Kibandaski
just
and
asking
start
myself,
a convo.
what is making marriage work today? Is it the finance or something beyond that?
Bro, it's finance, bro.
Well, we know that finance will kind of spice up romance.
Right.
That's
but
true.
George,
A relationship or
there
marriage.
is the facts.
That's a fact.
The thing that couples fight about the most is money. So a whole marriage,
Mm-hmm.
the whole entity of a marriage might not be money, but it's the number one thing couples
It's
fight
the
about.
number one thing, I agree.
Right.
But the truth is, how were you prepared, or how do you look at money is what determines how it's going to work. We have people who have a lot of money and their marriage is working today.
Yeah.
And we have those people who don't have money and their marriage is working today.
He's also working. Yeah, they're
You get
both
it?
hustling.
So the truth here is, it all depends with the approach and the attitude and how we look at money together. as
Me
these
what I
people.
Can
can
I
say.
ask
Yeah,
you,
please.
because everybody here has talked about their own personal dating experience. For you, how has been your personal dating experience with women? Have you experienced essentially what Dito is talking about, where when you have, when you hit up somebody, right?
Yeah.
When you approach the girl, whether it's on social media, through messages, or you approach her in person in real life, do you usually find that you're expected to spend a lot of money early on through the activities that are being proposed?
Naturally, any man will always love to spend money on a lady. He or she. He
There's
loves.
that, no, but there's that thing of wanting to
Yes.
spoil up. The testosterone
spoil.
inasumbua. Unataka ku...
Tony.
Yeah.
You have to. Well, it's not really a proof of love, really, but just kind of a gesture to show that you really care about this person.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
And so, but if you really again got somebody who, you always say that it's always good to go for somebody of your class. Yeah.
Don't run.
Don't run for something so big, and you are here.
But bro, love is love.
You'll kill yourself.
Bro,
You'll
if I
choke
walk
yourself.
if I walk in this street today and I find a woman and I'm like, yo, I think she's the perfect one. Then naturally it means that now the process should be, hi, can I get your number?
Yes.
Then from there now I can start knowing she's the CEO of. But immediately I'm saying hi to you, you're already giving me CEO look. You know what I'm saying?
But here is the truth.
Someone
Here-
is already
You know, she's like,
standoffish.
you know,
also,
so-
also look at it from this perspective. Sorry, what is this? Who is this kind of a woman? What does she consider to be very important in her life? Because we have those people who are looking at character and things like that. Who
There's
are
people
beyond
who are
money.
looking for different things. That's
Yes,
true.
there are those who are looking for money. They'll see money. If it's not there, it's not there. And there are those who are looking for some qualities, like I say, your integrity. You may not have money, but you have integrity. Say, oh, I love this guy because of this thing. You get it? So back to what you said, I think it's more to do with who is this woman? Yeah. What does she value
Yeah.
in this whole relationship thing or marriage?
Right.
If it's money, well, if you don't have money, she will run away. If it is something like character, integrity, chemistry, well, it will work out. Tony.
No, yeah. I'm looking at what Dito is saying, and I'm looking at Joyce and I. Yeah,
Yes.
there are a lot of stuff. He mentioned something about submissiveness.
Yes.
The things that is really bringing marriages to a halt, or people are not thinking about marriage, is how the ladies behave, whether financially, character-wise, or stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
Now, Joyce and I we've had our issues, especially now, because you see now Joyce comes from a different culture, from different upbringing.
Oh,
I come
yeah,
from
so
a
you're
diff-
bringing two
she's
cultures
Luya,
together.
as the lady from, to the side of Mranga now. So you're coming in. She's carrying her upbringing into it, and also that. Dito mentioned about submissiveness. Now, ladies nowadays, especially those ones who have made it, yani wanajua, I make money like Tony or even more.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I drive a car like Tony drives a car. Okay, I don't drive a car yet. Iko kwa maji nakuja.
Yes.
Kwa maji overseas. So there's a lot of stuff that ladies know they're entitled to at this moment.
Okay.
Now, when you bring that to a relationship where Tony has been raised to understand that a lady is supposed to be submissive. I'm not saying submissive as a slave or afanya nini.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
if you women say we describe slaves and describe
Submissiveness.
yeah.
I
But-
have such a serious problem with
yeah,
that word.
Exactly. So ladies have And we can't blame them. Wamepatiwa power, they're like us, so they can behave like that. Now that's the thing that is scaring some of us.
Yes.
And I can confess that on TV, that yes, Joyce and I are having that at this particular moment. Because
Yeah.
now Joyce is saying this, I'm saying this, so we're not having... What
And
is
there's
happening
the
here?
way you grew up.
And there's the way I grew up.
You're
Yes.
made to believe men are supposed to be
This,
the leader,
yes.
they're supposed to be the provider.
Yes.
Wao ndio wanasemanga tunaenda hivi na tunaenda hivi.
Exactly. And Joyce, you see, Joyce is already gone. Joyce knows what she wants. Tony is just wondering, okay, I'm the one who's supposed to do that, but Joyce is saying the things. Well,
You know
there's
something? I hear you, and I've heard that conversation a lot, and I agree. It's very hard to rewire yourself according to what you grew up with.
We are quick to show marriages are not working, media and all this. But how many times do you see people are showing us, wow, look at this marriage is working?
Oh yeah, but the people in the good marriages are not talking.
They are not, maybe we're not giving them a platform
But
to tell
where
us
are
the marriage
they?
is
Where
working.
are
They are
They-
busy
bro-
being in their good marriages.
We just want to see the
Guys,
negative
come
side
to
of
the
it.
Show. Those people
And-
who
and-
are in
and now-
good marriages,
yeah.
come to the show.
And tell people that marriage is not working. Marriage works. Something else that was mentioned here was on something we were saying about marriage is not. Sorry, we mentioned something that at some point you're in a family where things are not working out. But I always look at it from this point. In a good marriage or in a bad marriage, in a good relationship or in a bad relationship, there's always a lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then if you look at it further, you'll come to realize that we have people who've come from a marriage that did not work and today they're having successful marriage.
Okay.
The reason is, it's not guaranteed that if your marriage, your parents' family kind of marriage worked, yours will work
That's
or it will not
true.
work.
That's true.
Well, and I think it's more to do with what lessons do you learn from it. There are those things you've been seeing them, they're not doing right. When now you become person of age, you can tell that this is what I should not do and this is what I should do.
Yeah.
And I think people see some things, then they stop there. Because I used to see my dad do this, and I think all men are this way. Used to see my mom do this, and I think this way. But we are going to meet somebody who is totally different, somebody who can learn, somebody who can who look at it differently. So it is like, again, you mentioned that for you relationship is not working, and somebody will always tell us that do not make permanent decision on some things that are changing.
A temporary.
Yeah, maybe something temporary did not work, and today life is moving on, and you're saying that
Bro.
it's not working.
My guy,
Well-
I'm not to lie, I've been into like 20 relationships. I have not dated a woman for more than 3 months. I'll tell you the truth.
And
I
no,
can't be the problem.
no, you can.
Now you're saying that.
You see, I'm all glowing. You see, the
Yeah,
thing
you
is,
But
you can't have 20 relationships, then you're the guy with the problem.
But no, you actually
These
can.
are 20
though.
potential people.
no, let's no.
Okay, I have a question actually, and I want you to answer this as well.
Yes,
Dito
sure.
will come back to you. Is, do we ever go back and have those conversations with our parents? And I know that's the hard one. So like for you, you said you grew up in a polygamous family, very normal. They were cordial, same household, the way you said, Boma in one compound, right? 2 houses. Do we ever go back and sit with our fathers and we're now like, okay, we both grew up in that household. This is what I saw. This is how I saw things. Maybe I didn't think this was right. Or can you explain to me? You know, now we're both men, but you're my father. Can you explain to me what was your experience? What was going on with you? And if you want to encourage me to have a family, you want to encourage me, you know, to have a future partner, are there mistakes that you tell me not to make, maybe you made? Do we have those conversations? Do you have those conversations with your dad?
They came a bit too late, that conversation. Because we never even had that conversation when we were young.
Okay.
When we were growing up, my dad was early waking up going to work.
Yes.
My mom, teacher, asubuhi lazima ende shule. Atakuja tu jioni kunichapa viboko na maslippers nifanye homework. So we never had any conversation about, unajua baba yako nini.
Yeah.
The only time I went to see my dad, because my mother raised me alone, is when I was going to be circumcised. Ningeenda kujua, baba uko around, julikunda katu nikatwe.
Okay.
That's the
during
con-
rite of passage, you'll
Which
talk,
you
and then
just-
during marriage, of course.
Then yeah, right now is when my dad is having these meetings whereby come we talk about your future, about your financial whatever, about who you're supposed to marry, when you're supposed to marry. Those are the conversations he is having with me now.
Now.
So parents also have
They have that challenge.
Yeah, they have let us down in terms of trying to at least prepare us. Marriages might not be working, yes.
Yeah.
But we can work out a marriage. We can just get into there. Tungangane too. Marriage is not easy, but tungangane too. So at least you can give example to our future. Now you can imagine this other generation. If you don't show them that marriage works,
Yes.
what will happen to this gengeton fellas?
That's very true.
It's a dangerous scenario. So they never talked about bam bam when you're young. They never talked about marriage when you're young.
Yeah.
Now they're talking to us when I'm now getting to 40. I'm 36, going to 37 this year.
Yeah.
now my father is talking to me about marriage. Sai.
And he's talking to you about marriage now when you've had relationships.
I'm having a
you've
relationship
had
with Joyce.
breakups, you've had successes, you've had reconciliations, and you're like, okay, now we're talking from a point of we've both been through this.
Yes, we are like on the same table with it. So it's a bit
For
tricky.
you, Ditos, is it possible for you to have that conversation with your dad, with uncles, after now that you're an adult? Are you able to go back and have that conversation?
I'll be honest here. So the thing about this generation and like today's generation, it's so hard to even start a conversation and start telling your dad, you know, I want to know what happened to your marriage or how I go about it. So I feel like this conversation should start happening, man. Because I don't even the last time when I talked to a man, I'm being honest, ati sasa I want to marry, bro, what's happening? What I talk to men about is, hey bro, dem amenikulia fare, ama udem ana spend. Udem, by the way, udem anispend, nifanyaje bro, ni control, ama nifanyaje bro, nimtoke. You know, those are conversations we have. But the conversation never comes from maze udem akona character, bro. Udem ni mtrue, bro, sijui nini. That conversation is never there. And I feel like that's the conversations that we should start talking about, so that now this foundation can be strong, so that we can have those few marriages that are working.
Yeah.
But my guy, this relationship are not working.
Ditos
That's
is like,
what I'm
George,
trying to
I'm
say.
trying to show you the light.
First,
I'm trying to
first,
bring you
from
to
what
this
he
side.
just
To this side, join this side.
I had a lady who I really loved. I went and told she was from South Sudan.
Okay.
So I went and told my dad, get passports. My dad was happy. Nin. Up to today, my dad asked me, na ile hii passport tulipata inaozea kwa nyumba na sijaenda South Sudan. But anyway, hakuwa ananiongelesha hizo vitu venye tunasema they didn't talk to us by those case. But right now, by the way, these conversations, honestly, guys, I mean, hata nimewachwa. I don't even go out so much. Nikienda mahali, people are saying, how is Joyce? Right now, I cannot cheat. Right now, I cannot go to a mahali kwa hoteli ati niende nini. Kwa reception utaulizwa habari ya Joyce.
I'm clapping not because you would cheat, but unajua ni vizuri
Inakuweka in check.
siku hizi when people are in a relationship, ambiana watu wajue, umulikwe. It is a good thing because society also can help you. You know, temptation, like the devil says, it comes. Society can help keep you accountable. When we keep all our relationships a secret and they're just to ourselves, it doesn't benefit anyone.
I think relationships just they should be public, because marriage is public as well.
It's in front of government, church, everyone.
Yes.
God.
You'll get married, you'll have children, you'll be in public, it'll be public. So I think also having it, people knowing about it is very important. But allow me just also mention something as maybe come to an end, about having this relationship, these talks about relationship and all that. They're happening, even in that family where it's not working. The key concern here is how the parents are putting it across. The how is now what's making the difference. Now, those who are talking about it, but the way they put it, you may not even know. They're advising you.
Yeah, they talk in metaphors.
In metaphors, they may be quarreling you. The way they put it is a problem. So I think how the parents are doing it is very important. But as Tony mentioned, some of them now, they really, you're beginning to realize it when you're of age. That, okay, so my dad was hinting me on this, but I did not know. And I think also the parents or other people who have children should just think of how they do it. And some people always advise to start it early. You don't wait till somebody is of age. That's when you begin to have these conversations. So relate to them early. Then they'll be we will be open to come to you that, hey, mom, today, or dad, I met some funny lady. Please, she's of this kind. What is your opinion about it? You get it? So starting it early. Yeah. Starting early. Yeah.
I like it. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming onto the show and speaking. You know, speaking about these things is not easy. You think it's easy till you have a microphone to your mouth and you're saying, my father, my mother, and you're like, well, they'll watch. But I really appreciate you coming and being open and honest. Man Talk is about how men see things and men's issues and perspectives, but also how the new generation of men is hopeful and actually wants to do things better. Sindio? So thank you so much for coming to the show. Now, before we go, of course, you guys have your hustles and everything that you do. I want you guys to tell people your social media handles, where they can find you to know about good business. Ditos can make you a star, you know what I'm saying? Hata mimi nitaongea na yeye pale nyuma ya tent. Tutoe album next year. So please, Ditos, we can start off with you. Give your social media handles and tell them what exactly you do.
You know, I love introducing myself. Ladies and gentlemen, what's good, what's happening? I go by the name Ditos Worldwide, biggest hype man, East and Central Africa, biggest boss in the game right now. I'm a brand architect. I do a lot of consultancy and music business globally. I'm also a promoter. I bring for artists to Kenya, whatever, something, PR. That's what I do. I'm very single.
Single and searching or single and chilling?
Single and searching, man. Slide to the DM. Nagojezo my DMs mbaya. Follow me on Instagram. It's Ditos Worldwide. On Twitter, it's Ditos Worldwide. Everywhere, it's Ditos Worldwide. Thank you very much.
All right. This is George Smiu. I'm an author. Yeah. I'm a lecturer. I'm a conference speaker, and I'm a master of ceremonies. Yeah, you can check me out on social media. That is Facebook. I use the same name, George Smiu. On LinkedIn, YouTube is still the same name, George Smiu. On Twitter, it is I am George Smiu. Thank you. Looking forward to interact.
Author of which book?
Author of 4 books now. There's one book called Believe, Begin, Become. There's Dream, Dare, Do. There is From Resolution to Execution. Actually, it's just starting the year, and some people are stuck in their resolution. I think we should do something on that. So there's another book called From Resolution to Execution. Then the last one is something on employability skills. Yeah. So all check on Amazon. Just check George Smith. You'll get the other books.
Amazing, fantastic. Consider that one for job skills and resolution to execution. Yeah. In this good year of the Lord 2021, a lot of people will need to be reading those books. Thank you. Thank you, George. And Tony.
The most handsome Kabras man standing in Nairobi.
And it has been confirmed and announced here on Man Talk on KTN Home.
And Susan has just rubber stamped it. Yeah, my name is Tony Kwalanda. I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm a PR consultant. I'm an aspiring politician. In 2022, I'll be an MCA for a ward in Malava constituency. Nice. So tunasimama, mimi mtu kelele tu, MC, tunafanya kelele ma-hype. I'm learning from the hype gurus hapa hivyo kule hivi. So those are the things we normally do on the side. Yeah, motivational speaker as well. Mimi ongeanga na watu wangu mtaani and stuff like that. I'm a fundraiser. Nimesaidia timu mingi huko mtaani kupata vitu mingi. So nice. Doing those things.
Social media handle?
At Kwalanda on Twitter. At Kwalanda Tony on Instagram. Tony Kwalanda on Facebook.
Where they can find you?
DM imejaa with the editors nobody.
Well, guys, thank you so much. And thank you for being open and honest. And I also think even though the conversation was tough and rough at some parts, I still actually feel hopeful. And I wish all of the 3 of you the best in your future romantic and business endeavors, because these days love and money is lenda pamoja. So it's much appreciated. Guys, you can keep the conversation going. Just because the show is over doesn't mean that it is done. Keep talking to us on the socials using the hashtag ManTalk and the hashtag KTN Life and Style. You can reach me on my social media at Sura_common and on at KTN Home. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a blessed Wednesday. Bye-bye.